Mansfield Park is where the first competitive game between Hawick and Hawick YM was due to take place, but with that pitch unplayable, the game was switched to Mansfield Haugh. The Greens fielding a strong side with an impressive set of backs, including the exciting Neil Rennick and John Coates, and former Scotland Sevens caps Graham Haugh and Rory Hutton, led by scrum half Greg Cottrell. Hawick YM's strength is in the pack, with Wally Blacklock and Ryan Hogg playing, Bruce Campbell and Dean McCracken very capable to cause problems at half-back. 1 minute on the clock and first blood to Hawick, Neil Rennick slotting this penalty. Before this game he'd scored 164 points for the Greens this season, including 5 tries. Just 2 minutes later it was YM who were attacking the Hawick try line, but referee Rob Dixon penalising the Greens, and from the resulting penalty Dean McCracken popped over the kick and we were all square. The forwards battle was always going to be an interesting tussle, and the Redskins were soon getting the edge up front, and there's no better sight than seeing former Hawick player Ryan Hogg picking up at the back of a scrum and setting off on a wee run. Hawick are currently at the top of the National League, and former Edinburgh pro Rory Hutton has been immense at 10. Always a joy to watch, and here he drew 3 players before offloading to Keith Davis. Davis' long pass not going to hand, but a real message sent out that the Greens were gunning for tries. Ryan Hogg may be fun to watch on the hoof, but so is the big man Willie Blacklock. No sidesteps for him, Route 1 is all he knows. But a fine tackle by Neil Rennick, helped by Greg Cottrell. And Cottrell's opposite number, Bruce Campbell, is a tricky customer, and he wasn't far away from scoring a try here with a little help from the pack. Rennick and Hutton combining well to run out of defence, and the alarm bells beginning to ring out for the Redskins. Gary Johnston took the pass from Rennick, but his ball to Scott McLeod went forward and YM were off the hook. The Redskins have been good at attacking from deep this season. Here's an example of them doing just that. Dean McCracken going between Hutton and Hogg and taking play almost up to halfway. Turnover ball from Hawick gave Coates a chance to run it back at them, but Michael Graham and Stephen Hill made it difficult, and when the ball went loose, Greg Cottrell had limited space to work in. On the 10-minute mark, Neil Rennick was given another opportunity with this penalty from 40 metres. That put Hawick back in front, but we were still without a try until the 20-minute mark. Hawick won a solid scrum, Keith Davis picked up, fed Neil Rennick, and it was as simple as that. Stephen Maben wrong-footed by the slippery fullback, and that was his 6th try of the season. And with his 3rd successive kick of the match, he'd scored all 13 points for his team. And 2 minutes later it looked as if he was going to increase that to 18. More possession for Hawick inside their own half, and Hawick were on the march again. John Coates with space up the right wing and Rennick in support. With a second row to beat, he ran towards the corner, but the referee blew up for crossing. Another let-off for YM, but they got back into Hawick's half and another attack looked promising. McCracken saw space on the left, kicked for territory, a good kick as well, but it didn't go into touch. And let's enjoy what happened next with some Rory Hutton magic. 4 players beaten in a matter of yards with a mix of sidesteps and dummies. Keith Davis in support. And then Greg Cottrell with a 60-metre dash to the line. That has to be one of the best tries this season. You can't help but think what Edinburgh Rugby are missing when you see play like this. Hutton was dropped by Edinburgh, of course, a few seasons ago, but the talented lad's certainly an asset to Hawick, and we hope that his pro career is reignited in the near future. Graham Kellington did well to get back and tackle Davis, but once Cottrell got the ball, no one was going to catch him, and that's the sort of try that you expect to witness in sevens. Rennick converted, and just to finish off, a theatrical cameo role for Stephen Hill and a contender along with teammate Gary Douglas for Dive of the Season. Greg Cottrell has led Hawick well this season, a fine captain, a great player as well. He certainly knows how to find his way to the line, and Keith Davis coming in like an express train to take the scoring pass. With Neil Rennick converting again, just the start the Greens wanted and the confidence building. Now how about this for some impressive back play? Hutton involved again, Graham Hogg on his shoulder, Rennick up in attack, little chip for John Coates, and in at the corner for a try. Or was it? Because Rob Dixon consulted with his assistant Stephen Hart, and while they chat about that, let's have another peek. Stephen Hill's enthusiastic dive having no effect, but Stephen Maben grabbing him and knocking the flag flying. But was the ball grounded before the leg hit the ground? To be fair, it could have gone either way, but that was Hawick's fourth disallowed try of the game, including an earlier one from Matt Landels. But they took advantage of a poor YM throw and almost another try for the Greens, but excellent defensive work from the Redskins to keep them out again. Bodies piling in to try and get the ball out, and Greg Cottrell knowing that it's on its way. Hutton seeing space out wide, out to Lee Armstrong, and Rennick going in for his second try of the game. Credit to the Redskins, they still battled up front, and after a couple of collapsed scrums, Hawick were warned that next time it would be a penalty try. And Rob Dixon is a man of his word, and a deserved 5 points for Hawick YM. Make that 7 with McCracken's conversion. Hawick were still in a running mood despite the unfavourable muddy conditions, and they targeted a few more tries to wrap up the game. Scott McLeod did well to put Lee Armstrong down the right. He rounded Michael Graham and dived over, but Graham had done enough to make Armstrong put a foot in touch, and that was another opportunity which wouldn't count. Relentless Hawick were stretching their neighbours, playing good expansive rugby, and when Hogg saw a tempting gap appear in front of him, he was more than happy to exploit it and run in for the Greens' 5th try. Rennick successful again with the boot, as he was a few minutes later when he also converted a try by Craig Smith. But in injury time it was try number 7 for the Greens, an opportunist kick ahead by former Redskin Lee Armstrong, nobody at home, and a fairly simple job to pick up and score, with Rennick bagging his 28th point of the afternoon to finish.